Hi, my name is Winslaya and welcome to my video going over the 31st Dev Diary for Age of Wonders 4. This one is covering Eldritch Sovereigns and Tomes. The Eldritch Sovereigns are the new ruler type that we're getting with the Eldritch Realms DLC, and the Tomes are, also things we're getting with the Eldritch Realms DLC. I think there are three of them. The Tome of Tentacles, the Tome of Cleansing Flame, and then I think the last one is Tome of Corruption or something like that. We'll see them once we get to them in this dev diary. We've seen a lot of stuff about the Eldritch Sovereigns in the two dev streams that they've done so far. There was one right before they posted this dev diary where they showed off a lot of really cool things, like how you can get a Mage Bane through the Sovereign, and how right towards the end we got to see some other cool things like this new cosmic event. And boy, there was one other thing that I wanted to show off here that I thought was really cool. Oh, right, I brought it up here to the top. The new Scourge of Autumn is a pretty cool new unit that we'll take a closer look at on Tuesday next week. I want to take some time to get all of the screenshots that I could get from the dev diary before I really take a closer look at them. But the neat thing is there was some overlap. Like, they do talk about how you can get the Mage Bane in the dev diary, what it costs, and some of the changes to the Mage Bane, I think pretty soon actually. They start off by basically showing off what they can look like here, and then the base weapons that the Eldritch Sovereign has access to. We've seen the Relic of the Mind, Relic of the Flesh, Relic of Havoc, and Relic of Cosmos relatively early on in that first stream. These are just different weapons that come with different skills, and if you wanted to get Eldritch Rituals, you can start with Relic of the Mind and then take that from, I think, the list of signature skills, which it's reasonable. If you wanted to, you can like play around with a combination of these starting abilities. You just need to level up into those things. Um, right, we are going to have three basic abilities on all of our Eldritch Sovereigns, regardless of what starting relic or weapon we take. The Spike is a long range, low damage ability that I think sometimes applies status effects, like the Relic of Flesh can inflict decaying and poison from quite far away. If I remember correctly, I think it was range 7 or range 8. So yeah, very long range, just to keep your enemies, like keep pressure on your enemies so that they want to come to you a little bit more. If they do get into melee range, you can use the rebuke to basically have a stab option. It deals decent damage and can finish off injured enemies. Yeah, it's not the worst thing if somebody's standing right next to you. I think that one is a single action. Whereas the spike, I think, is a full action range 8, which makes sense. If you're going to have 8 range on something, it probably should take a full action to use. Eldritch Mind Control is something that all of the sovereigns, all the Eldritch Sovereigns get access to. They can all mind control something for, I think, just one turn, which turns an adversary into an enemy, just basically disrupting the flow of combat. But if you don't get the mind control, I don't know if it's super optimal. It's great if you get it because, then instead of the enemy attacking you, you can use your enemy's units to attack them. Next, we have a little section on thralls and ritual spells. These are looking pretty interesting. You can thrall your own cities using the, I think, enthrall population spell, and that will give you 3 thralls, or you can basically collect them from taking fights across the map. And like I mentioned earlier, they give you access to things like the Mage Bane. If you wanted to spend 10 thralls on getting a Mage Bane, you can do that, but you need to also get some other hero skills. I think you needed a summon Wisp and then the summon Siphoner before you got the Mage Bane option. I think I had that actually right at the top here. Basically, it says you need to have you also need required Wizard's Tower. I missed that part for the Mage Bane Ritual. But yeah, this requires the Siphoner one, and then you get access to the Mage Bane Ritual. All right, so they did mention in here that if you wanted to, you can befriend cities. I think you can also use thralls to take over enemy stacks or a unit from an enemy stack, kind of like how you could pay them gold to get them to join your army in previous versions of the game. And now we can jump into the signature skills, which we haven't gotten to see too much of yet. They did show off the Mage Caster, Mindbreaker, and Flesh Weaver specializations in the last dev stream, but I think everything after that they haven't gotten to. So Or I mean, if they did, I didn't see it before making this video because I didn't finish the whole stream from this morning before making this video. But yeah, Mad Caster creates a Chaos Pulse, Expert Channeling. These are things I've covered before in previous videos, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's basically a random attack. Anything that lets you cast spells more easily. Eldritch Truth is a mind control thing, and Breach makes it so that you can get past status resistance is pretty good. I think that one is probably one I'm going to be using relatively often. I think Mindbreaker sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Fleshweaver says we get possession, which empowers a unit for 2 turns, then they die, I believe. After those 2 turns, Fleshweave gives you 2 extra fleshlings, and I think I read later on that you can actually upgrade this to get better units than this 20 HP 2 armor thing that just explodes when it gets next to an enemy. I'm wondering if they just die. When they die, they explode, because I'm not seeing any tag in here that says I think you have to activate the flesh explosion in order to get it to trigger on an enemy. It doesn't just happen when they die. So major specializations happen at level 12. So this isn't the thing that you get after level 4. There's something else that happens at level 8, but this is tied to the things that happen at level 4. Basically, you're going to get 2 options for based off of the choice that you made previously. If you took Mad Caster, you can either take the Cosmic Caster or the Havoc Caster buttons. Those are the first 2 here, and they will make it so that instead of it maybe not being bad for your enemy, maybe it heals them. Now it's just going to be dealing damage with the Cosmic Pulse, and the radius is extended from 1 hex to 2 hexes. There's also something where you get the Forgotten Tome Mastery, increasing damage on abilities you use from these tomes that they're, I think, about to cover. Yeah, right here. But let's talk a little bit more about how Havoc magic will still be pretty chaotic. It can do good things to the enemy, but now it does 2 effects instead of just 1, and it has a 90% chance or all abilities because of the new chaos channeling passive. All abilities will have a 90% chance to inflict a negative status effect to all damaging combat spells. Mindbreaker says Enthraller, yeah, it's basically a way to get more units, I think, right? Yeah, dominated those things. This passive will make it so that the mind effect things can control an extra unit. Control an extra unit. That's massive. That's really, really good. Mind Devourer says that Mind Shattering Truth will make it so you deal physical damage that ignores target's defenses. That's I think kind of like the Reaper's ability, and one of the weapons had unblockable damage, so you can get access to that 2 different ways, and maybe you want both of them on your hero. There's a little thing, Mind Rend, here at the end that says that you do 70% damage to anything that has a negative mental status effect. So that's different than negative status effects. Things like Berserk, Insanity, and Madness have a slightly different tag associated with them. So Fleshweaver says that you can now uh, give the damage increases to 3 allies instead of just 1 when you're doing the possession. That's the thing that makes guys die after 2 turns. That doesn't seem that great unless you can get rid of the thing that gets the units from dying. This says that, which changes the effect from mind control to dominated when you're doing your Eldritch mind control, which means you can keep the unit. Okay, that's nice, because if you get that on some like higher tier units before you can build them in your cities, that can make a big difference. I heard of Voxel talking about that in the stream when he got access to a Dark Knight, and he's like, man, I wish I had the mana for this because I can't build tier 3s right now. After that, what do we have? Then we have the Greater Possession, which is the other option for possession, increases damage to 80% so that they can rampage until they are done. Oh, they have a lot of status resistance or protection. I guess protection might be a new tag that just keeps them from getting statuses inflicted on them. That'd be pretty cool if that's in there. Flesh Sculpt makes it so instead of getting 2 fleshlings, you get a better unit, a single tier 3 flesh abomination, which we actually did get to see in today's stream. I got to see that briefly, and I don't think it had a very impressive attack. What it does have is a lot of HP, defense, and resistance, so it can stay on the board longer and take advantage of the Curse Eater or the Umbral Malady interactions that they have on their units across all the different Umbral units. All right, so This section, the Forgotten Tomes, doesn't have a lot here. It does tell us the names, but it doesn't tell us the effects. I did take a quick look through these before jumping into making the video, so I would have a rough idea of what I wanted to talk about for each of these. But right here, it's basically saying that the way this works, you get 3 random abilities from these tomes, and then every 4 turns, the ability, I think you get 1 out of 3 random abilities. Okay, so I get that. That makes sense. And then every 4 turns, that will get traded out, and the cooldown will be removed. So if you use something that is like once per battle, then all of a sudden you can use a different ability that's once per battle, and it might come back later on, and you can use it again. But of course, that requires a lot of turns to pass. 4 turns in Age of Wonders 4 is a lot of time in a battle. So they have unlimited range on a lot of the abilities, or all of them maybe. Interesting. So they're a lot like the Lost Wizards that those are different than Mage Bane. I think somehow they're related to one another, but I forget the exact connection. I mean, we can speculate on what these do, but I think at this point, you can just say they're here and move on to the tomes, like the Tome of the Tentacle, where they talk a little bit about the constrictor. Voxel seemed to indicate that he thinks this unit is completely overpowered or broken, or Bass seemed to indicate that he's brought that up internally a few times when he went to build the unit. He's like, oh, you just think you need a frontline, huh? That's the only reason you're building that unit. That was a great moment. I love those two together. I think, well, all the streams by Age of Wonders 4 are phenomenal. I enjoy them a lot, and all the characters they have on them. What it says here is basically you can make it so that you can immobilize people with the constrictor, and a lot of things like this will what's this? You can apply constricting even with constricting focus on your mage units and your support units. So I don't think your archers can do it, but your mages, supports, and this melee unit can apply the ability to just lock people down, keep them from running away. That's really good on archer units that don't have a range 1 ability. Like a darter does have a range 1 ability, but most archers do not. After that, we have Conjure Tentacle, which is going to also, I think, lock down enemies using the constrict ability. It's very good early game at protecting your squishy units from melee trying to rush you, right? So you just summon that in, and then it can keep them away from your squishier units. That seems really good in manual combat. I hope the AI uses it well. Next, I want to show you the aptly named constrictor. Oh, they're beautiful. They got like tattoos and stuff on their legs. It looks like little like octopus looking things. Yeah, they give very good hugs, I'm sure. I believe that. Tome of Corruption, we now have new information that I don't think we've gotten to see in this stream here. So it's saying that you get the Umbral Demon tag from, I think, the Gloomstrider ability here. Yeah, and then you also get some other things on top of that, like floating movement and Curse Eater. I think that's it, though. Did they not get the tentacle thing? I think. No, I realized after saying last week that you can get Manifest Tentacle from Gloomstrider. That comes from Tome of the Tentacle, so that wasn't quite right. This has boon stealing that I didn't notice earlier. That sounds super nice because people like to use buff circus a lot in these games. All right, so we haven't seen the Umbral Mistress yet. That's a tier 4 Mystic unit that seems pretty cool. I like the design here. Something about this reminds me of, I don't know, Planetfall. The guy on top sitting on top of the tentacles seems neat. It's like a mixture of 2 different things. What are they going to tell us about this unit? This has the ability to do 100% chance to enchain somebody. That must be like constrict, but worse. I think this is the one that says it leaves an action. It's not even a full action, is it? It also has gratitude, which can link a unit dealing 30 damage that ignores defense. Whoa, it's a free action. The caster will gain 30 HP and remove up to 3 pause effects from the linked unit. That seems also very good. You can just steal people's good stuff using this Tome of Corruption. Okay, I'm liking this theme more and more the more I see these abilities. Fury seems nice. Inflict Insanity for 3 turns. Okay, Insanity for 3 turns is massive. Why is that a free action? Wait, so you could do Gratitude and Fury in the same turn? It's cooldown 1? This unit seems amazing. Surrender's gonna make it so they lose a whole bunch of morale, gets under defense and under resistance. I don't know how I'm gonna auto into these units in my multiplayers, but I'm excited to see them in action. Oh wow. I wonder if you can get these and use them kind of like you can get the umbral juggernauts. There must be a way to, right? Tome has a new tier 4 unit. Yes, this tome has this unit. Okay, yeah, that's really good. So you get a summon umbral mistress. How did I not see that earlier? Of course, it's in the new tome section. Why would they put that here if you can't get it from it? Wow. Wow. Wrack ability never misses. Did we see that one? Wrack never misses. What does Wrack do? What else do they tell us about this? And since a lot of our skills are free actions, you can play with your enemy's emotions and then rag them for damage on the same turn. Oh no. This is going to be ridiculous. I got to get to my enemies before they get tier 4 tomes. It has to happen. Corrupted Boon says enemies lose all positive stats effects. If a lost stats effect has any stats effect countering, then the unit gains a stack of that negative effect. So fortune turns into misfortune. Yes. Okay. I'm going to be using this if I can get access to it quickly enough. Which maybe that knowledge thrall spell will do. We haven't gotten much more information about that yet. What do they say here? Corrupting Boon, that's this one. So now we can move on to, I think, the last tome that they show off here, which is got a special tier 4 unit. Oh, this is what I meant to show off earlier. We get to see the tier 4 unit in this dev diary. And it is a pole arm. We get another pole arm. Whoa, isn't that cool? What else does this tome have here before I forget? It has the ability to make non-zeal or faithful units suffer burning with a cleansing flame. Just, what is that? Ability spell? Units passing through or ending their turn on this hex. Oh, it's a new status, kind of like the taint or the umbral taint that the umbral juggernaut was leaving behind. So zeal or faithful units lose 1 negative status effects, and condemned units lose 1 positive status effect. So it makes your units, if they're zeal or faithful, lose things that are bad for them, and if you've put condemned on your enemies, they will lose their positive things. I love that. So how do you apply the cleansing flame? Is it something you can do with just an AoE spell, or is it like a unit ability? The hazard burns. Yeah, okay. Additionally condemned. All burning flames. Oh, Flame Herald Consecration. That was this. Never mind. Where is that? Flame Herald's Consecration is a hero skill. Looks like Cleansing Flame Herald to me there. All right, same thing. All burning ground becomes cleansing flames. Slain enemies create cleansing flames for 3 turns. Wow, okay, I like this. That's how you get the thing going. You slay enemies or create fire, and then it becomes cleansing flames. So pyromancy probably has some really neat interactions with this. But burning hazard creates in combat a more what? A powerful combo. Yeah, pyromancy. Got it. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. And then Pyre Templar is just talking about this guy and what he can do. They're made to fight the corruption in the abyss. They have fire cleave that mows down enemies in a 1 hex cone. Wait, how big is the cone? 1 hex should be just right in front. So is that like 3 hexes in the front? That seems nice. You burn all adjacent enemies and create cleansing flames around them while putting the Templar in defense mode. Right. It doesn't seem like they have a special defense mode, but I think that's how all the pole arms work, right? Unless you add something with like enchantments. I think there's a nature one that does something pretty good for pole arms. It gives them healing. Pure flame staves makes it so you have a 60% chance to inflict condemned and create cleansing flames on the target hex for 3 turns by just using magic attacks on your normal battle mages or your supports. That seems pretty good. So even if you don't get the condemned, you're just going to be putting cleansing flame literally everywhere. That's gonna stack up quite quickly. Um, you can make base melee attacks of enchanted units like your shock polearm shield and fighters inflict burning, and if the target has 5 stacks of burning, then it creates the cleansing flame. So it's a little bit harder for melee units to create cleansing flames on their targets, but they can do it. What else do we have here? That's pretty much it. I just say a little bit more about the tome and how we've got more content coming up next week. Yeah, that's everything I have for you this time. I'll see you around. Have a good one.